He's not going to drastically change the team, he's not a game changer, but he is someone who will bring that leadership and bring a calm head into that defence. Alright everyone, Happy New Year, welcome back to the Redgate-Large channel. It's going to be an exciting year on the channel, hopefully so. But today we are going to kick things off with a little bit of a transfer talk. Let's talk about Kieran Trippier to Newcastle United. A lot of speculation has been floating around with Kieran Trippier at the moment, and rightly so. He's a very, very talented player, 31 years of age, looking to go back to England, come back to England with Chelsea, my team Chelsea, and Newcastle United, both rumoured to be sniffing around. So let's weigh up for Newcastle, because Newcastle are the big talking point. Let's weigh up what this means for Newcastle, and is this a good signing? Let me know in the comments, get in the comment section, and let me know if you think this is a good signing. So to start off, we are going to start off with the pros, the big positives about a signing like Kieran Trippier. The first one, obviously, is that it shows Newcastle United do have the pulling power for top class performers. I'd maybe just say he's just shy of world class. If you think about the world class fullbacks, you've probably got Trent, Robertson, Walker, Cancelo, Reece James is maybe starting to go up there, but I probably would say that they are the four. I'm sure there's someone I missed there, probably like an Alphonso Davies. So he is a very, very good and competent player. We of course know he's an England international. He captained England a few months ago as well, which is obviously massive for Kieran Trippier, and you know it's deserved. He's been in the England setup for years now, and is a real top professional. He can play at both left back and both right back, which is something that Newcastle United do need, and they do need to strengthen in those areas. And like I said, the leadership which comes with that might just be what they need to solidify that defence, because Newcastle's defence, I think the criticism is that they are very leaky, whereas you look at the likes of Norwich are leaking and they can't score goals. Newcastle, it is that leaky defence, and if they can sort that out, then yes, maybe they can keep themselves up. And like I say, Champions League level fullback should be a player that potentially might be able to. If we move on to the negatives of this signing, the first negative is that with him being a fullback, I don't see that impact coming in straight away. I know a lot of people in a discussion I had in a comments section were talking about, you know, the likes of Trent and Robertson, they would have this impact, but Kieran Trippier isn't at that level. I don't think we can say that. He's not even at a Kyle Walker level anymore. I think the best way for Newcastle United to move forward and get their team sorted is to build a strong core, work around the likes of Callum Wilson when he's back, the likes of Alan Saint-Maximin, Joelinton, who seems to have put in a good shift, and build around those, make a good core of the team, and then expand that way. Whereas I don't think Trippier quite does that, and it still leaves that want for a centre-half still wide open. Will he instantly leave if relegated? Most likely. I cannot see a Champions League level fullback staying at Newcastle United when they get relegated, and so there will be a clause in that. And so the likes of Manquillo, the likes of Kraft, these players who typically will play in that position, in those wide defensive positions, they will be, for 6 months of the season, they'll be kicked out. And if Newcastle still get relegated with Trippier in the team, then they will become annoyed and frustrated at the lack of game time, and then they will be expected to play next season if they get relegated into the Championship. And I think that's always something you just need to keep your players sweet, especially if you're in the position that you might potentially go down. You don't want to irritate those who are Championship level players until you are 100% certain that you're not going down. Linked to the relegation, if they did potentially get relegated as well, the amount of money that is being paid for Kieran Trippier on a weekly allowance would potentially mean that anyway, even if he doesn't have a relegation clause in his contract, that he might end up going anyway, because he wouldn't be willing to take a pay cut, especially to then go into the Championship. Maybe if he was playing up a level, but even then you would expect him to get a pay rise more than a pay cut. And the final thing is, he is 31 years old, so this would be a quick fix in terms of you maybe going to get 2-3 seasons out of him. Depends. Kieran Trippier's game isn't based on pace, so someone like a Thiago Silva, who we see play at Chelsea in the Champions League and still playing for Brazil, still playing at that top level, they can still work because their game isn't based on pace. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, prime example of that. Kieran Trippier isn't like Kyle Walker in that sense, and he isn't reliant on pace, and that isn't his biggest key asset. His ability on the ball is better. So I think it is a little bit of a quick fix if they do put that in, but I do think there is plenty of opportunity for them to get 2 or 3 good seasons out of Kieran Trippier because, like I say, his game isn't based on pace, it's more about his defensive knowledge and his ability on the ball more than anything. My suggestion and closing thoughts really are that Trippier, it almost looks like he's wanting one last payday, and if you are Kieran Trippier, why wouldn't you go to Chelsea? You know, they're going to be able to offer you a similar amount of money, probably the same if Chelsea do want to then go in for Kieran Trippier, and of course you'll then get your Champions League football that you so desperately want. So in terms of a payday, I don't think that will be the main factor if Chelsea come in. I think for Newcastle it's probably an okay signing. That is my thought. I think it's an okay signing. He's not going to drastically change the team, he's not a game changer, but he is someone who will bring that leadership like I spoke about and bring a calm head into that defence, and hopefully for Newcastle United's sake bring up the level of football. I think Kieran Trippier, if we were to look at this at the end of the transfer window, and the rumour was speculating now and they've signed 2, 3, 4 players, I think he'd be a fantastic final piece to the puzzle. But at the moment, as a starting point, I cannot see that as a viable way to go about it. Of course, Newcastle do need fullbacks. Manquillo's been suspended. You've had players like Kraft underperforming. And Matt Ritchie, a lot of Newcastle United fans still don't know how that man has been a Premier League player. But I think that is something that they need to look at, is building elsewhere first. They've got Callum Wilson out injured now as well, and I think maybe an extra striker would be more important and more key to them firing themselves up. Personally, I think a centre-half would be ideal. Get a big, solid centre-half in there. Someone who knows the Premier League well. Get him in. Maybe someone a little bit older, like Kieran Trippier is himself. Get him into the club and solidify that defence. And then the move to Kieran Trippier, for me, would look a lot better. So that is my thoughts on Kieran Trippier. Let me know in the comments section below, like I said, what you guys think to the potential move to Kieran Trippier, and do you think that Newcastle should focus more on Callum Wilson's injury and fulfilling that role, or do you think they should keep focusing on a fullback and strengthening that defence? Thank you for watching, guys, and most importantly, stay safe. Cheers!